Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday. Can you believe it? It's Tuesday, unless you're watching this at some other time. But we're streaming live, and it is Tuesday, and it's the end of the month. And so I thought today we would do some things about change and the wild world of change. So, all kinds of exciting stories for you. I also want to let you know about some of the changes that are going on in my world here. So I am going to be putting out a newsletter, and that'll be giving you up-to-date information about all the kind of things that we're going to be planning at Sophie's World. I've got all kinds of fun things that we're kind of rolling out. We've got the idea of doing virtual art classes, and we've got links to other great websites, and we've got local artists that we're going to be highlighting, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure that you sign up for the newsletter. All you got to do is click the link that will be in the show notes, and then you can be part of our team and our world. But let's get started by saying hello, shall we? Okay, here we go. Let's wave our hands and say, hello, how are you all? Hello, how are you all? Hello, how are you? I'm just fine today. Glad to see you here today. I'm glad to see you here today. Glad to see you here today. I'm so glad to see you. Let's see. How about if today, let's hop on one foot. Can you hop on one foot? I know that can sometimes be hard. So if hopping on one foot is hard, you can hop on two. Here we go. Hop, hop, hop as high as you can, and hop, hop, hop as high as you can, and hop, hop, hop as high as you can. I'm so glad to see you. Let's clap those hands. Let's warm up our whole body and clap those hands. Clap, clap, clap. 1, 2, 3, and clap, clap, clap. Along with me and clap, clap, clap. 1, 2, 3. I'm so glad to see you. Okay, so who can stick out their tongue? Let's stick out our tongues today. It's a Tuesday. It's a crazy day. Let's go like this. Ready? Stick out your tongue and go. Bah! Stick out your tongue and go. Bah! Stick out your tongue and go. Bah! I'm so glad to see you. Okay, how about we make that funny face? You know that's always my favorite. Make a funny face, I'm funny, you're gonna make a la 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 la. Work a funny face, I'm so glad to see you. Okay, oh, I know what. If you're standing in the room with somebody, blow them a kiss. Just a little kiss to let them know you love them. Blow a kiss to someone you love, and blow a kiss to someone you love, and blow a kiss to someone you love. I'm so glad to see you. Okie dokie, everybody. Let's wave hello and get these stories started. Hello, how are you all? Hello, how are you all? Hello, how are you? I'm just fine today. Hello, everybody. If you're just joining me, it's me. I'm Sophie from Sophie-World.com, and I'm here to do some stories and songs with you. So the first story that we're going to do today is called Where the Wild Things Are. Now, one of the things that I'm working on is trying to work on this glare. So if anybody has any ideas out there in TV land, and you can let me know how to break down the glare on your pictures, I would love that. Not the blare, the glare. You know what I'm trying to say. This is Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. He's one of my favorites. Not only does he do amazing stories, but he does these great pictures. Isn't that beautiful? Don't you feel like you could just fall right into that? Oh, take a big nap. Where the Wild Things Are. Where the Wild Things Are. Story and pictures by Maurice Sendak. I don't know about you, but they look like fun monsters, don't they? The night that Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind, And another. His mother called him Wild Thing. And Max said, I'll eat you up. And so he was sent to bed without eating anything. Sometimes it's not a good thing to tell your mother that you're going to eat her up. Or your father, or your grandparents, or your brother, or your sister, or anybody in your household. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. How neat would that be? And grew. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and his walls became the world all around. What a magical place. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max. And he sailed off through the night and the day. Looks like a very nice little sailboat, doesn't it? And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. And when it came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars, and they gnashed their terrible teeth, and they rolled their terrible eyes, and they showed their terrible claws. This is kind of scary, isn't it? Here, let's start with this side where Max is arriving. And then, look at these monsters. Oh, there's a lot of monsters there. I would be scared. I don't know about you. But Max said, "Be still!" And he tamed them all with the magic trick of staring into their yellow eyes without blinking once. That's a pretty serious magic trick. And they were frightened, and they called him the most wild thing of all. Let's get Max in there. Oh, there's Max. He's pretty brave, isn't he? And they made him king of all wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. Oh, look, they're howling at the moon. Let's see both sides. There's Max. He's howling. And then we'll go over this side and we'll see the monsters howling. Ooh, they're doing my favorite thing, which is climbing trees. I love climbing trees. Oh, it's a parade. That's another thing I love. I love parades. Now stop, Max said, and he sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all the wild things, was lonely, and he wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. And then all around, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. And he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." And the wild things roared their terrible roars, and they gnashed their terrible teeth, and they rolled their terrible eyes, and they showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. Oh, look, there's Max waving goodbye. Oh, and there's all the monsters. They look very, 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 very upset. And he sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. And that's Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. So we're going to sing a little song here, and while I get my guitar, I want to tell you an interesting little story. When I graduated from college many, many, many years ago, Maurice Sendak was actually one of the people who spoke along with Laurie Anderson at my graduation. And when he had finished his speech, do you know what he said to us? He said, "Now, let the wild rumpus start," which I will never forget. So we're going to sing a song, and it is called "Michael, Row Your Boat Ashore." Michael, row your boat ashore, hallelujah. Michael, row your boat ashore, hallelujah. Now, when we say hallelujah, if you want to jump up and down, you can, or sway side to side, you can, or clap your hands, you can. Just make that hallelujah pretty special. My brothers and sisters are all on board, hallelujah. My brothers and sisters are all on board, hallelujah. The river is deep and the river is wide, hallelujah. Milk and honey on the other side, hallelujah. Michael, row your boat ashore, hallelujah. Michael, row your boat ashore, hallelujah. The river Jordan is chilly and cold, hallelujah. Chills the body but not the soul, hallelujah. Okay, everybody sing this one with me. Let's make it Max. Row your boat ashore. Max, row your boat ashore, hallelujah. Max, row your boat ashore, hallelujah. Good job. Well, speaking of changing and changes and things like that, there's nothing more that says change to me than a very hungry caterpillar. Because something happens to caterpillars, and I'm not sure if everybody here knows what happens to a caterpillar, but I'm going to give you a little hint. At the end of this book, there will be a very big change. A Very Hungry Caterpillar by Carle. Look at all those holes. All the holes and all the color there. Or are they polka dots? I don't know. We'll have to find out. The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Carle. And it says, "For my sister, Krista." That's nice. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. Do you see the little egg? It's right there. One Sunday morning, the warm sun. Well, let's try that again. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up, and pop! Out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry little caterpillar. Do you see him there? There he is. He's very tiny. he started to look for some food. Do you see any food? I think I see something over here. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. Do you see his little head there? Let's see that apple. Let's take a peek at that apple, shall we? There's the apple. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges, but he was still hungry. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. And that night, he had a stomachache. Well, that doesn't surprise me. Does that surprise you? Let's see. All this stuff. Cake, ice cream, pickles, and cheese, and salami. Oh my goodness, a lollipop. That must have been hard to eat through. Pie, sausage, muffin, watermelon. No wonder he had a tummy ache. The next day was Sunday again, and the caterpillar ate through a nice green leaf. And after that, he felt much better. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself, and he stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon and pushed his way out. Let's take a peek. Here he is. Here's the very, very fat caterpillar. He's no longer a tiny little caterpillar. He is a fat caterpillar. And now he builds a cocoon. So he goes from a fat caterpillar to a little house called a cocoon. And he was a beautiful butterfly. Look at that. So he went from a big fat caterpillar to a cocoon, which was that little house that he built around himself, to a beautiful butterfly. And that is the end of The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. Now we're going to sing a song, maybe not about a caterpillar, but about an inchworm. And it goes like this. Inchworm, inchworm, measuring the marigolds. Don't you know how beautiful you are? Now we just sang about a butterfly, so let's sing about a butterfly. Butterfly, butterfly, flying across the beautiful sky. Don't you know how beautiful you are? Let's try another end. Let's say, a ladybug. Ladybug, ladybug, traveling across my woven rug. Don't you know how beautiful you are? Let's think of something else. How about buzzy fly, buzzing near my apple pie. Don't you know how beautiful you are? Well, that might have been stretching it a little bit. I don't know if I want to fly on my apple pie. Okay, let's try another one, shall we? Okay, here we go. Spider, spider, in my apple cider. Don't you know how beautiful you are? I'm not so sure I want a spider in my apple cider either. Well, let's try one more. Okay, here we go. Mosquito, mosquito, sitting on my burrito. Don't you know how beautiful you are? Okay, all right. Wait. We just need to go back to the beginning, okay? All right, here we go. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Inchworm, measuring the marigolds. Don't you know how beautiful you are? Yeah, bugs are important. Mosquitoes serve a purpose. Everything serves a purpose, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to like it. Sometimes things are just there because they have to be there, and we don't have to love them, but we have to let them be. This book is called Hey Al. Now, I don't know if you have been following me, but if you have been following me, then you know that my daddy's name is Al, and this is another book that I gave him a long time ago, and he gave back to me so I could share it with you. And it's called Hey Al. Look at those funny pictures. See all those birds? I'm going to find out what this is all about. Hey Al. Ooh, let's see. Oh, we had a little bit of, let's see if we can get our, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Still trying to figure out the technology. Hey, Al. And this is by Arthur Yorinks and Richard Egielski. And they say, for Adrian, Sid, and Bongo, for my mother and father. Al, a nice man, a quiet man, a janitor, lived in a one-room on the west side with his faithful dog, Eddie. They ate together, they worked together, they watched TV together. What could be bad? Look at that cute little room they live in. Eddie's awful cute, isn't he? Plenty. Ruff, ruff, look at this dump, Eddie growled. We can't have a house, a little backyard to run around in for a change. Sure, Al snapped. Today it's a house you want, tomorrow, who knows, maybe the moon. The moon? The moon? Oh! Eddie howled. Pigeons live better than we do. Ruff. No, life wasn't easy for Al and Eddie. They were always working, always struggling. It was always something. Oh, Eddie doesn't look happy, does he? One morning, while Al was shaving, a voice called out to him. Hey, Al, it said. Al turned and saw a bird, a large bird. Al, said the bird, are you working too hard? Still struggling and going nowhere? Listen, have I got a place for you? No worries. No cares. It's terrific. Huh? Al said. He was confused. Ow. You need a change. Tomorrow, come and be my guest. Eddie, too. You'll see. You'll love it. And then with a few flaps, the bird was gone. That is a very, very large bird. Now you can imagine that evening's conversation. Eddie was already packing. What? Quit my job? Al said. Ruff, there's more to life than mops and pails. Ruff, ruff, Eddie insisted. But that's it. We're going. Ruff, and I don't want to hear another word about it. Ruff, ruff, ruff. At dawn, they were both in the bathroom waiting. A large bird appeared, and Al and Eddie were ferried thousands of feet upward to an island in the sky. My goodness, we're getting ding-dings today, aren't we? And I thought that was all turned off, but oh well. Let's see where Al and Eddie are. Unbelievable! Lush trees, rolling hills, gorgeous grass. Birds flitted to and fro. Waterfalls cascaded into shimmering pools. Would you look at this view? Eddie said. Wow, said Al. Whoa, look at all those birds. Aren't they amazing? Birds sang and brought them food. They ate, they drank, they swam, they sunbathed. They never had it so good. So, Al, is this so terrible? The large bird asked. Oh, what a life, Al cooed. A guy could live like this forever. The days passed blissfully as memories of their old life slowly faded. Al and Eddie decided that this was ecstasy. But ripe fruit, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to show you the picture. I got so carried away with the story. It looks like he's having a good time there, doesn't he? But ripe fruit soon spoils, and one morning, Al woke up and shrieked, Eddie, look at us! We're turning into birds! Indeed, their eyes were a little beady, and their nose was a bit beak-like. Oh, we gotta get out of here, he croaked. Wings sprouted, tail feathers plumed. Oh no, oh no, can you see what's happening? Take us back, woof! Take us back, woof! Eddie quacked. I don't want to be a bird, quack. Hey, I'd rather mop floors. He honked as they both flapped furiously and rose into the air. Oh no. Eddie, be careful, follow me, Al squawked. But Eddie, in a frenzy, was flying in circles higher and higher. Exhausted, straining to stay aloft, he plunged into the open sea and was gone. Oh no, poor Eddie. Al barely made it home in one piece. Alone, without his friend, he was heartbroken. But, fortunately, Eddie was a talented swimmer, and in no time he found his way back to the west side. Eddie! Al cried. Oh, Al. That is certainly a happy reunion, isn't it? And just remember, paradise lost is sometimes heaven found. And that's the story, Hey Al, by Arthur Yorinks and Richard Egielski, or Egielski. Well, guys, that's it for today, but I will be back tomorrow with some more stories, so I do hope you will join me. And let's say goodbye, shall we? Goodbye, Allie. Goodbye, Marissa. Goodbye, JC. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Delilah. Goodbye, Isabella. Goodbye, Christina. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Danny. Goodbye, Helen. Goodbye, Maya. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, Gabby. Goodbye, Isabella. Goodbye, Madeline. I'll see you all next time. And if I didn't get to say your name today in the song, make sure you leave your name in the comments, and I will make sure to sing to you tomorrow when we have story time again. All right, everybody, it's time to give ourselves a big hug. So take one hand, put it on one shoulder. Take the other hand, put it on the other shoulder. So we make a big X in front of us. Close your eyes and squeeze real tight. that's me giving a hug to you. See you all tomorrow, everybody.